Okay, this is my lovely model, Jillian. Have we met before?
I've never seen you in my life.
Good. So anyway, this is the makeup from the 1968 to 71 Planet of the Apes. The award-winning, groundbreaking makeup. And this is essentially the same, it's not the same material because they use foam latex and this is shell latex, but this is basically what the makeup was. So, in order, before we do that, we have to do some underpainting. And in the movie, which we're not going to do, they will black out the teeth because we're not doing that, Jillian. Relax. Okay. So, what I'm using...
Why would they black out the teeth?
Well, they would black out the teeth because you do big emotional stuff and you open your mouth, you don't want to see the human teeth in the background. So, what we did, and what they did here, is they have prosthetic teeth that are attached to the face piece. They would also do it for the bottom as well, but I've tried doing that and it doesn't look quite as good for my purposes, so I don't do that. So all kinds of, okay, I'm going to pull you a little closer. So, the makeup I'm using is primarily Graftobian cream makeup from two different palettes. This is their werewolf palette, which is the colors are really good, and this is just their black palette, black and gray palette. So before we actually apply this, I have to do some underpainting, and I will also do a spray mist and set on here, which sets the makeup and it also protects the skin from the glue, because the glue can be problematic. We discovered that. Oh, that's another thing too. Whenever you're using a glue, and the glue we're using is a medical adhesive called Prozaid, which is one of the basic standard adhesives. Always test this, which we didn't do. Always test this on the model's skin. And frankly, the best place to test it is this skin right here, underneath your arm, because that's very thin, that's very sensitive, and if it does break out, you know, big deal. You do a test on your face to be walking around and you have a bad reaction, you know, you'll have red marks all over your skin, and here that's not that big a deal. And there are other adhesives that I can tell you about if you're interested. But so the first thing we're doing here, a lot closer, uncomfortably close. Okay, look up. And that's right next to the eye, obviously. I'm a brush addict. I have, you know, way more brushes than I need, or well, than other people think I need. I need every one of these brushes. I can't live without any of them. Okay? And then I come back. Actually, when I turn you 45 degrees so they can kind of see what we're doing here.
And Bill, can I ask a question?
Sure.
Would you like to move up a little higher onto the platform? Or would that be easier for the audience to be?
I don't know. I think we're okay here.
You guys okay?
Yeah, we're okay?
All right.
All right. See, one of the important parts of what I'm doing right now is because if you look, you'll see the skin that's a very different color than her skin tone. So we have to bring it in closer to that, to the piece. Was there? Yeah, you have questions, shout them out. Okay. Okay, and something we didn't do on my test makeup, but I realized we probably need to do is we're not going to black out her teeth, but we're going to cover up her mouth with some coloring here to get closer. And something else I use regularly is alcohol-based makeup. Like this is the Skin Illustrator palette. I have half a dozen of these, finding out just the right color. And
Why do you use an alcohol-based makeup?
alcohol-based makeup, it lasts longer. And I got to grab my alcohol here. And it's like, the difference is like painting with oil paints or watercolors. Oil paints, you can get a lot of color down there, and with watercolors, you can get a translucent quality, and you get that with alcohol-based makeup. And I'm using like 91% alcohol. You can get it at Walgreens. They recommend 99% alcohol. That's a little harder to get, but it's still, and the difference is negligible, frankly. Here, there are two things you need to be aware of course, is alcohol-based makeup around eyes is a bad idea. So I've done full alcohol-based makeup applications, but I would go back to the cream for around the eyes. So what I'm going to do here is we're going to darken her. Oops, that's not going to work. Let's see. It's the wrong brush. Again, that's why I need every brush in my kit. And I'm going to cheat. Okay. One of the tricks of stage makeup, and this is really stage makeup refined, is that's another good aspect of alcohol-based makeup, is that most other makeups, you get it on the costume, it stains. Alcohol-based makeup Once it dries in your face, it's not coming off until you wash it off, and it's not going to transfer. Okay, turn you this way. But what I was going to say is whenever you're applying makeup that's somewhat different than your own skin tone, be aware of your costume. The last thing you want to have happen is you have this beautiful blue makeup on, only you have a nice line of skin tone down here, because it breaks the illusion. And that'll kill you every time. I see people nodding in the background who have done this. Yeah, that is a problem. Okay. Okay, now we're going to use some setting spray here. Okay, close your eyes. Okay, well, we'll let that dry a moment. And this piece, I've done like about 4 different molds for different people. And this is a generic piece. And I'll walk around a little bit, let you see this. Go up to the camera real quick. She's worn this once. And you see that there's a lot of color on this. A bunch of layers. And that's important for any makeup, any prosthetic makeup or any character makeup, is to be sure you get a lot of variation in color. If you look at your skin tone, your skin is actually many translucent sheets of skin over top of a red base. You're not pink, you're not brown, you're not whatever. You have all these layers of skin over top of, there's a melanin layer, and underneath there's red blood layer too. So that's a thing with not particularly applicable to this, but if you're, like I do a lot of Klingon stuff, but if you're making a forehead over somebody, you really need to underpaint a layer of red in order to make it reflect through. Because any pictures you take, any photographs you take, no matter how good it looks in real life, the photograph, your prosthetic will look much grayer. So if you underpaint it, that makes it more lively and helpful. But again, it was not applicable to this. But the one thing, another thing here, is these prosthetic teeth. Anybody know where Axeman is? Have you gone to Axeman? Axeman saved my life, because they had a full set of werewolf teeth for $1.95. So I got that out and I trimmed them a little bit, and that's what we're using. Okay, now Prozaid, our favorite part of the makeup. Not. Okay, I'm gonna, before I do that, what you do is you test fit it on the person. Okay. Put your finger right there. No, where my finger is, over here on the side. And what you do, this is very helpful so you're not putting glue everywhere. You stipple around the piece. Okay, go. And that gives you, take a look at the audience there, that gives you, you know where to put the glue. Okay, I'm going to sacrifice a brush. I like to take a little container, pour the glue into it, and then tightly recap the glue, because if you don't tightly recap it, you will knock it over. I can guarantee you will knock this over, and the hotel will not like you. So, yeah, we'll use this. And this stuff is like, I don't know if anybody's used contact cement for projects or anything, but it's true about most glues, is what you need to do is you need to apply it to the both surfaces. And you want to go light here, because otherwise it's a bear to get off. Also, it'll dry faster. And since we have done this before, there is still some Prosade left on here. I don't have to put as much, because the old Prosade will reactivate. And come back here, outline. And again, not so much. Though we don't need to do it for this one, sometimes with prosthetics, you will need to block out eyebrows. The quick and dirty way, well, it's actually really a good way to do it, is those Elmer glue glue, the purple sticks. If you rub it one way through, then back, and you may have to do it a couple times, you can effectively block out eyebrows. You're protecting the eyebrows, and they also act a little bit as an adhesive. And then you can apply whatever adhesive you're using over top of that. Okay. And since we're doing that here too, I have the chin piece. I will put that on there. I'm going to try this here. A little alcohol to make it, to reactivate the Prosade a little bit. Okay. And what you do is you wait for it to dry clear. And you can see it's pretty clear right now. And it's pretty clear on the prosthetic too. So I need to scoot you in a little further. did trim the opening a little bit, so it should be a little easier. And next little trick I'm doing is they sell, or I actually make my own seam filler called Cabo Patch, which is really just thickened Prozaid. It's essentially the equivalent of makeup equivalent of spackle, if you've ever had to patch a hole on your wall or anything like that. And you put a little bit here. Come on. This is not working so good. Okay, that's not good. That's not working well right at the moment. Okay. And you work it in. You put it on the skin next to the piece. Okay, let me turn you here. And if it's too thick like it is right now, I can go in with a little Prozaid and thin it out.
Question for you, Bill.
Pardon me?
Question for you.
Sure.
With the seam filler and adhesives and different supplies, are there local places, or what's a good resource for the aspiring?
Okay, that's a good question. I was going to say that. Locally, Costco, which is in, I'm not sure where it is. It's in Minneapolis somewhere. I don't shop there. I think it's in one of the western suburbs. Or Twin Cities Magic and Costume, which is on South Roberts Street in St. Paul. I get all my stuff online from a place called makeup-store.com. I've been working with him for years. He's really good. And he has 99% of the stuff I need. Okay, so put that here. That's looking all right. Now you might say to me, Bill, what about the rest of her skin? Can you hear it? Okay.
What about the rest of their skin?
Oh, I'm glad you asked me that. We cover it with fur. And again, this is I got from my guy Fred at makeup-store.com. This is a one of the things about doing makeup is you learn how to repurpose stuff. This is a hand-tied lace beard. So what we're going to do, first of all, go back and make sure everything's glued down. I'm going to grab my scissors, which is somewhere. Actually, I have 2 or 3, and now I can't find any of them. Oh, here it is. What I will do here, turn this way. Okay. All right. my good friend Teresa, who was my first ape, basically taught herself how to tie wig lace, which I tried to learn, but my fingers are too.
How to tie, what was that again?
Yeah, how to tie hair onto lace.
Oh, okay. Tying hair to the lace.
Yeah. But I'm thinking, why reinvent the wheel when I can buy the stuff already pre-tied, unless I want to really impress judges at a masquerade. Say, oh yeah, that I hand tied all that. So this is what that looks like here. Yeah. So it's very, very impressive, frankly. So you may or may not realize it, but your face is not symmetrical. There are very few human beings who are the same left and right. So you should always double check the your left and rightness on pieces. Okay, let's put a little wash up there. Come the other way. Okay. All right, so other side. Now we're going to go over and use some more brown painting in here. If you have enough hair, which I do. Except I don't like the way it cuts. Maybe I can make that work. Come on. Okay. I'm going to cut a little piece and fill in right there. You know, the thing is, no matter how many times you do this, it's always the first time. As you'll look at stuff a different way, or you'll see something that you can do better. Or the materials won't be exactly the same as they were before.
I can see that it's like the delicate touch. It looks like you're creating a piece of art versus what you would think applying makeup.
Yeah, it really is equally an art and a science. There's science here, but a lot of it is kind of like, well, that kind of works. Why don't we try something else? And some of this is going to be covered by the wig. But I want to do this just for completeness sake. And one of the differences between male and female chimps in the movie, which I've done both ways, is male chimps have a beard underneath here. And female chimps are not quite as hairy as male chimps.
Oh, another question for you, Bill.
Sure.
I'm noticing your case up there is really extravagant. It's got drawers and cabinets that fold out left and right.
Yes.
Can you get that on that site as well? Or
Actually, I got it on Amazon, and there's plenty of these on Amazon. So I'm actually thinking about replacing it because it's seen a lot of use. So. Time check, okay. We're in good shape time-wise. Okay.
and also asking you all the industry questions I can think of tips and tricks of the trade. I noticed your stylish outfit.
Oh,
I was like, is Bill a ninja?
kind of, sort of, yeah.
Okay. Or is there some reason in the industry also for the selection?
No, actually, there isn't. It's a part of my cosplay. I'm going to be a Sith Lord a little later. So.
Okay. Well, I mean, so now that's really cool. Not only do you do the makeup, you also cosplay yourself.
Yes, I do.
Very cool.
I am part of a group that went down to Worldcon in 2022 and won Best in Show.
Wow.
So.
Were you a Sith as well, or a different character?
We did a Lord of the Rings bit, and I was Gandalf. So, which I almost wore today, but since I was doing a makeup, I decided no, I'm not gonna. And what I'm doing now is just bringing the undercolor just to be a little closer to the piece itself. It's a thing where, they say, wow, I was only in makeup for 4 hours. Yeah, you think, what the hell? No. The thing, there are a couple different applications, grades of makeup. There's I'm going to be recorded by high-def cameras makeup. And I'm going to be on stage 40 feet away from anybody else makeup. And then there's cosplay makeup, which is somewhere in between. And then there's demo makeup, which is like, I only have 15 minutes to get done. So, okay, I'm feeling good about that. Then here's a little crowning touch I found online, and I had to get Ape hands. You can just roll your sleeve up. We'll apply these here. Because again, it's one of the illusion breakers. It's on fully, great. If we can get that down over top. Pretty much. You got it? It can be a little loose, it's not that big a deal. Okay. And the other hand goes on. Roll it up like a sock. It's in there. Cool. Cool, that's good. Oh, jacket goes on first. Okay, let me stand you up. I tell this story all the time about this fabric, but it's a great story. So let's see, that's, okay. We should have done, okay. There we go. Arm. My good friend Elizabeth Sloan, who talked me into this because she wanted to do it for her husband Gerald, had the original 1968 wool fabric. She had like 2 or 3 yards of it. Why is this not fitting the same way? Okay, we got snaps. So she had enough for her husband, so we needed to find some for her, Teresa, who played Zira in our skit. Oh, there you see what I mean about breaking the illusion. Gotta get a little more down on the collarbone here. Oh, yes. But we went out to S.R. Harrah's to find this material. We spent 45 minutes, Teresa, her husband, and I, looking for various fabrics. Okay, that's the right color, it's the wrong fabric. That's right. Oh, almost, no. No, it's a stretch. We don't need a stretch. Finally, after about 45 minutes, he looked at us and said, "Nobody will know." At that point, we both did this. And he said, "Oh, okay." Nope. Okay. The final piece is a lovely lace front wig that we found on Amazon. What we will do is we'll do the finger thing on the front. You can hold that right there. Pull it over to, sorry. Okay, let's there. I'll see where we're at. Where are you there? Okay, there's something loose, something tight up here. Nope, I guess we're okay. Sorry, it's just a little bit of, and there we are.
Terrifying and beautiful. It's amazing.
And there we are. So if you want to get a closer look, feel free. This is one where, of course, I can see all kinds of stuff I could do better, but you know, that's because I'm a perfectionist, I'm sorry. But sure, come on, take a look. And we'll be done. I'm going to be showing my friends out there. And then the big trick is going to be taking all this stuff off. Oh, thank you. If you want any work done, talk to me. If I'm not here, I'll be over at the Dream Stitchers table. So, fun.